Hi all, welcome to Tech Forum. In this video, let us see the approach to configure robots.txt in AEM. Robots.txt is a text file webmasters create to instruct web robots how to crawl pages on their website. The robots.txt file is part of the robots exclusion protocol called as REP, a group of web standards that regulates how robots crawl the web, access and index the content, and serve that content up to the users. In practice, robots.txt files indicate whether certain user agents, means the web crawling software, can or cannot crawl parts of a website. These crawl instructions are specified by disallowing or allowing the behavior of certain user agents. Let us see this sample robots.txt file. So I just opened Google's google.com robots.txt. Like most of the domains will have the robots.txt, so you can just access the domain slash the robots.txt. If you see here something called user agent star means all the user agents. There is multiple user agents like Google, Facebook, like Bing, like lot of user agents. So star means all the this rules applicable for all the user agents. So then we are saying disallow a part of the website is called slash search. Any URL starting with slash search, we are saying don't crawl it. Then we are allowing some in that search. We are allowing some URLs like search, about, search, static. So then you can specify even specific user agents. If you come down somewhere, like it would have mentioned, if I come bottom, yeah, see user agent adds bot Google. So it's saying like additional rules disallow this maps API JS also. Same way, like there is other user agents also. So now the robots.txt file must be placed in a website's top level directory. So means it should be accessible like this, like website name slash robots.txt. Some user agents may choose to ignore your robots.txt file, the rules specified in the file. This is especially common with crawlers like malware robots or email address scrapers. Each subdomain on a root domain uses separate robots.txt files. This means that both blog.example.com and example.com should have their own robots.txt files. It is generally a best practice to indicate the location of any sitemaps associated with this domain at the bottom of the robots.txt file. So let me show that. So if you see the Google robots.txt, there is something called sitemap. So it's referring the sitemap URL. So if you have multiple sitemaps, you can specify all those sitemaps here, because some cases it will have multiple sitemaps. If you in that case, you can specify all those sitemaps over here. Robots.txt file, as I said already, control crawler access to certain areas of your site. So you can restrict. These are all the area. This would be restricted or excluded from the crawling. Like let's see the elements, important elements of robots.txt file. We already seen most of them here. First one is the user agent, the specific web crawler to which you are giving crawl instructions. So like user agent star means like all the web crawlers, whatever the web crawlers crawling this website, this instruction is applicable. So if you want, you can specifically say, like if there is any the rules are specific to any web agents. Now another one is a disallow. So this command is to tell a user agent not to crawl particular URL. So the pattern, only one disallow line is allowed for each URL. So now here even you can use a regex pattern. So to say like this pattern disallow this specific pattern. Now next one is the allow. This allow variable is like a specific element is specifically applicable only for the Google bot. This command to tell Google bot it can access a page or subfolder even though its parent page or subfolder may be disallowed. Means like if you see here, like I think we seen that example already. Okay, we can come here. Yeah, so if you see here, we are saying disallow API JS, then we are saying okay, if anything this pattern you allow maps. So subfolder of subset of the initial disallow. So the next one is crawl delay. So we are not seeing the crawl delay here. So that pattern is like this. You can say the crawl delay like this. Yeah, so crawl delay delays 120, means 120 seconds. How many seconds a crawler should wait before loading and crawling page content. The time difference between crawling the pages. So this Google bot does not acknowledge this command, so you can't use this for Google bot. But if you want to specify the crawl rate, that can be set in Google Search Console for Google bot. Then next one is the sitemap. We already seen that. So here the sitemap is specified. So used to call out the location of any XML sitemaps associated with this URL. This command is only supported by Google, Ask, Bing and Yahoo crawlers. So now let's see like some common use of robots.txt. So first one is the preventing duplicate content from appearing in search result page. So let's say like in your website there is a duplicate content, so you can use this crawler to say block one specific version of the content. The next one is the keeping entire section of the website private. So some cases you don't want to list out the website in Google search. So what you can do is you can just say crawler disallow slash. So your complete website will be just like this. So your all the agents disallow the slash, means like complete site you are going to block from crawling, so that it will become private. Now next one is the keeping internal search result pages from showing up on the public search result. Some cases, let's say if you see here, this is maybe a internal search result example, so you don't want to show that in the Google search, you can block that particular section. Now preventing search engines from indexing certain files on your website. So you have some websites, some files that may be internal, or like maybe some work in progress pages or test pages, so you can just exclude that from the indexing. So also like you can specify a crawl delay. So we already told this is Google bot won't honor that, but still you can specify that in order to prevent your servers from being overloaded when crawlers load multiple pieces of content at once. Now if there are no areas on your site to which you want to control user agent access, you may not need a robots.txt file at all. So if you say like my site is completely open, so all those pages should be indexed, then there is no need of any robots.txt file. Also please note, robots.txt will not guarantee the pages will get excluded from the indexing. The pages are indexed even if disallowed in robot.txt file, in case the pages are linked from other site. So example like if you have a page website, your robot.txt is disallowing that, but somehow the same page is linked from external website. So with index tag, so the page will be obviously get indexed. Now in that case what you can do is you need to use meta robots tag to specify no index for the required page. You can use the meta tag called robots with the value no index, so to exclude that page from the indexing. Let's see now how to enable robots.txt in AEM. As a simple stuff, you can just create a robots.txt file, because this is a text file, so you can just create in the root path of the website and enable the required rules. This is simple, but managing the file for large number of domain will be challenging. If you have like 80 or like 80-90 domains hosting the website, you want to manage this for all the websites, going to be challenges. So means like in case of any common changes to the robots.txt file across all the website, all the individual website robots.txt file should be modified individually to reflect the changes. So what does that approach means is just to go here content. Yeah, so under web detail I already have something robots that I will explain what I am referring. So just to click create a file. So now you can name this as robots.txt. Yeah, so this is just a file. Now you can whatever you want to keep it here, you can keep that. Let's say we copy from here. Yeah, you can keep this. Okay. Now this text file will be accessible through this content vretail robots.txt. So most of the cases this content slash vretail will be masked from the user. So whenever the user access that domain slash robot.txt, this file content will be like visible. So this is the very easy way. But here if you see, like, there is no authoring capability to the user. So everything like we need to take care of through crxte, all the domain. Whenever there is a change, then we need to go and change it in all the files, any rules. So those kind of challenges there. Otherwise, like it's a very easy approach. You don't want to put any much technical effort to like manage this. So just to create a file under every root content path, then automatically like, because you already, like, let's say whenever you access contents vretail us, obviously you already masking content vretail, it will become us slash en or whatever. So same case, like now whenever you access robots.txt, the content vretail will be masked, and like it will be accessible. The two challenge here is, like, one is like no authoring capability. Then like whenever you want to change it, you need to go individually to all the file and change. So this can be avoided by creating a global and site specific robots.txt file and serving the actual file through a servlet. So global file will have all the global level configuration, then site specific file will have a site specific configuration, then there is a servlet. What the servlet will do is like merge both the files and serve the robots.txt content in the runtime. Let's see how to do that. So for that, what I did is I created a this is a 6.5 AEM. So it's all based on the editable template. So I created a page component. Let me show that. Yeah, this is, I did it under vretail. I will be sharing this all like components and servlet. So you can see the link in the description. So if I go to components, structure, yeah, if you see here, there is a robots txt. I just copied this page, and I only difference is if you go to the body.html, just it say like robots txt configuration, edit using page properties. So the value can be edited through page properties. Then page properties dot robots.txt, that is the variable, the robots.text, whatever you are authoring will be stored. Now another one is the dialog. So maybe I am putting a dialog tab called robots. Yeah, now that is going to have a text area. Yeah, yeah, robots.txt, it is a text area. If you see here, this is a text area. Yeah, that variable will be stored in the robots.txt. Now, yeah, this is the simple. Now another one is like, obviously I need to have a template type. Let me show that. Template type and all those things are stored under /conf. Let me go into that. vretail settings, wcm template type. Yeah, there is a robots.txt page. Here nothing, like I just opened this, copied this empty page, and only change is like the page component name path I need to change. Here if you see, like it's pointing to robots.txt. Same way, like there is another, like if you want, you can change this. I change this title and the description. So same way in the structure, it will point to the robots.txt page component. So that's simple. Now based on this, I created a template with this new template type. This is the template, actual template. If I go to the initial, yes, the same thing, because that robots.txt. Now JCR content will call that something like yeah, this template you can create through the um, uh, yeah, template editor here. Like let me go here. Okay, go to tools, yeah, templates. let me go into vRetail. Yeah, you can create. Yeah, if you see here like vRetail robots txt, this is the template type, it will come, then you select that and create the template. So I already created the template, so it's called robots txt template. Now what we need to do is like our template is ready, we need to create a global and site specific robots txt page. So for that, like go into this, sites, this is the parent. So what I did is like a global page I created under this content vRetail, just the name should be robots. So because that extension txt we are going to handle from the servlet. So here what I did is like created and edit, like just create through that template this page, whatever the template we have. Yeah, the global rules can be configured here. So if you see here, user agent star disallow. So I'm like I'm keeping the all the user agent, I am allowing everything. So that is the global rule. If you have any disallow, global disallow or anything, you can keep it here. Now if I go to the page properties, okay, if I go, there is a tab, like this is the dialog change what we did, robots. If I can go and add it whatever the rules I need. The same way what I did, like only for demo I kept another file under this USEN. So this is a site specific, so you based on your content structure you can keep it, even the global file wherever you want you can keep outside, that's fine. Yeah, here if you say I am keeping a site specific rules. So first of all, disallow say content vRetail. So anything start with content vRetail, I don't want to index. Why means like this is the full path. So most of the cases our site the content vRetail should be masked. In some cases you may be referring this slash content slash vRetail in your links or somewhere. So Google will index two versions. So to avoid that, I am saying like don't index slash content slash vRetail. Then the sitemap path of the for this specific site. So here again same thing, go to open properties. So you can there is a tab robots, whatever the changes you want to do you can do it here. Okay, now the servlet will serve the final robots.txt file by combining the global and site specific robots file. So I have a global file, I have a site specific file. Whenever you always you will be accessing the site specific file from outside. So whenever you try to access that, so the servlet will combine this both the file and serve the final content with the extension .txt. So please note here we are not created this file with any extension .txt, just with the name robots. Okay, now yeah, let us see the servlet. Yeah, it's a very simple servlet. So here I am saying the resource type as like the page component path, vRetail robots.txt. It means this servlet will be executed only for this resource type. So because we are creating our robots.txt pages with this particular page component. Now then extension txt, then get some description and service ranking. So here what we are doing is like whenever we get the request, so this is the template path, because like we are just checking whether the request is the file requested is created based on this template. So to avoid like we should not be serving the file from other locations. So now then if I can come to this, yeah, this is the global robots page where I kept my global robots page. So you can make it as configurable also. Now here like it's a simple logic, like what it is doing, it is trying to get the global file here, then it is trying to get the site specific file, then merging both here, like I'm appending both and sending the result back. If both the files are missing, so it will send a blank page. Obviously you have to have a site specific, because otherwise your servlet will not be executed. After the servlet is executed, it will combine the file content, global and site specific, and set it back. Anyway, I will be sharing this Java file, so you can refer that. Now, like, let's see, like, now one more thing you need to do, one more step. So because right now this particular robots.txt file, it can be accessed only through this path. If I say localhost content vretail, yeah, so USEN robots jcr content.txt, because this has to be applied, this robots.jcr content. So this, I think my understanding is in 6.4. This is a 6.5 I am using. Only in 6.4 without this JSR content, if I just keep a .txt here, it was working. That's what my understanding. But 6.3 also it is not working. 6.4 my understanding is it was working. So now recently I could not able to do the demo, but I assume it was the way it was working. Then you don't need any mapping, because already still you need a mapping, maybe USCN, that is based on how you are masking the content. If you are completely masking this content, you don't need any rule. But in our case, because of this JSR content is there, like we need a dispatcher rule. So let me show you the what is the dispatcher rule we created. So if I go to this dispatcher.any, sorry, if you go to the vghost file, so what I did is, like, I created a rewrite rule in this virtual host. If anything start with robots.txt, the request comes for robots.txt. Internally I am directing to this path. So if you see, it's a PT rule, it's a pass-through rule, it's not a redirect or something. It will just manipulating the URL and passing through to the backend publisher. So it's like content vretail USEN robots JSR content, like this. Like you may need it for all the website based on where you keep your robots file, whatever we created. So in our case, this is USEN, it's under that. So this rule is configured. Now let's see the let's see the demo, how this final version is looking. So if I go to this, okay, sorry, yeah, so I'm just going and accessing with localhost robots.txt. If I just access it, it will show me this is the global robots.txt content. This is the site specific content. So it's the servlet merged both and displaying the final content. Yeah, this all for today. So here what we have seen is like how we can create a configure a robots.txt in AEM with a flexible approach, so that you can have a global robots.txt and site specific. Then you can merge the content in runtime. Also you can enable the authoring capability to configure the robots.txt. Thanks all for watching the video. See you in the next video.